Hello, my name is Jenny Bloom, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about foreclosure, loss mitigation, and everything that's happening with the industry in that part also. So nobody can get the wrong answer. Don't pay attorneys. Don't listen to your banks because they're lying to you. They are going to make you lose your house. However, there is a right way to do it. But before we go into that, I would like to tell you a little history about how mortgages came about, how they used to be done, so you can compare it to, what you have to deal with now when you are with your bank trying to come up with a modification. So, back in the days when I initially started in mortgages, you had to have a license. So a mortgage broker would take an application and would have a mortgage broker's license. So we would go out and pre-approve a homeowner. Based on the information that the homeowner was giving us, we will pre-approve them for a loan for them to either purchase or refinance their home. Once we would pre-approve them, we will gather documentation along with our processor who worked side by side with us in our office, and we will put the file together and try and get it approved with under the guidelines of one of the investors. At that time, we used to actually look in Chase, Wells Fargo, IndyMac, and a whole bunch of subprime lenders. We had Countrywide, we had New Century. So we would just look to see, which bank paid best, right? Because, the mortgage broker owner of the business, they always wanted the best of the money. So we had to try and approve the client with a loan that made the best money. Now, sometimes there will be instances where homeowners did not have enough credit in order to qualify for a loan. However, there was so many programs. I'm talking about over 100 programs that we could put a person into and approve them for a home loan. With or without credit, stated income, stated assets, no income, no assets, 80%, 20%, 80/20s, 100% financing. There were so many programs, the pick-up payment, all the negative arms. Anyways, you guys already know this because you are in these loans that now you cannot refinance because all the prices were pumped up, and in order for realtors, appraisals, and mortgage brokers to make money. So a loan officer takes application, licensed loan officer pre-approves the prospect or the homeowner based on their income. And once pre-approved, the licensed loan officer then submits to the mortgage company's licensed loan processor or the licensed junior underwriter, because everybody has to be licensed, and then all together work on approving the future home loan holder. Now, all licensed personnel get together to make sure the future home loan holder will be able to make the payments without defaulting, and determines a loan amount for which the homeowner qualifies. Mind you, these people work for the banks, and these people have to be licensed. They work for correspondent lenders. They work for just lenders themselves like Chase or Wells Fargo, and they have to be licensed. Especially the underwriters, and the loan officers and the junior underwriters. Anyways, future home loan holder agrees to the terms of the loan and allows for the approval process to be submitted to the underwriter. Now, the underwriter makes sure that the loan gets approved, that all conditions are met, and then the loan package gets sent to the lenders um, whom then looks over the file, locks in the rates, and determine if under their guidelines the homeowner does actually qualify for the amount of loan initially stipulated. And if all goes well, the loan is approved and it's on its way to closing. Yay! So now we have a closing date. We go to the title company, we explain to the homeowner everything in detail about their loan, and they sign, and then the loan goes to post closing. Now, by this time, the homeowner already has the keys, they're moving to their home or whatnot. Now, post closing is the department that takes care of the file before it goes to the investor. Now, post closing has a certain amount of time to put that file together and send it to investor before the documents that the file have expire. Okay, if they don't send it to the investor on time and the documents expire, then the investor will no longer purchase that loan, and then the lender will have to find another investor. In the meantime, they are servicing the loan. They will have to get payments from the homeowner to them. But usually they are able to put together the file and send it to the investor in the amount of time required for the loan not to expire. Okay, once it gets to the investor assigns the file to the servicing company. Okay, now of course there is a processing center that puts together all these documents and makes sure that the assignments, the notes, and everything gets done in a proper manner. In the real world, the assignment and whoever it is assigned to, whoever the investor is, has to make sure that the trustee and all the documentations for the trustee are actually put in court, and you have to have paid your doc stamps. You have to have paid a certain amount of money to prove to the homeowner, the courts, and the investors that this loan is being accepted by this trustee, who, now mind you, before anything happens, before you even close on your loan, the investor already knows what group of investors, what trustee your loan is going to be in. So they already know who is going to be servicing your loan. Now, the servicer is just kind of like a collection company, who's just sits in between the investor and the lender to collect the money, and just serves as a middleman. And actually, they hold a collections license, not a mortgage license. They're not licensed under HUD. They're not licensed under the new NMLS. They're not licensed under, any particular financial institution. So, nowadays, we have to deal with these servicers in order to get you qualified for a loss mitigation transaction. The people that you're calling in these servicing companies, they're not licensed mortgage people. They're not licensed processors. They're not licensed underwriters. They're not licensed, period. All they're licensed to do is collect money. Okay? However, they are given a certain incentive if they get your loan approved for a hemp, but they don't know how to approve you. And I wonder, because as of January 1st, all modifications were now being considered a mortgage transaction, and only individuals who held a license under 494, well, at least here in the state of Florida, you had to be a financial licensed individual or a mortgage licensed individual in order to negotiate a loan modification. How is it that we are dealing with these servicers who are not licensed? They have no idea what a loan to value is, which is extremely important, mind you, to get approved for a modification. A DTI, which is your debt to income ratio, which is part of the guidelines for hemp. Okay, and also We have something extremely common, which is the NPV, which is a net present value, which is also a very, very, very important part of the hemp guidelines. So when you speak with these servicers, they're just punching in numbers in their computer, and they really don't know what it is that they're doing. Okay, in fact, if you go to Linton Loan Servicing or any of these, even Chase Servicing, um, any of these servicing websites, ASC, whichever, go in there to see who they're hiring, and to become a loss mitigation agent, all you need is a high school degree. It's equivalent. You don't need to have a mortgage background. You just need a high school degree or it's equivalent. Oh, and it will help for you to have some computer knowledge. And in some cases, they require Excel, Word, or Outlook. So that's about it. So that's who you're dealing with when you call the servicer. So you wonder why time goes by, months, sometimes even years, and you're stuck in their system, and nothing happens, nothing is moving, and the next thing you know, you're getting foreclosed on. Why? Because these people do not know what they're doing. They have no idea. And since you don't know what you're doing either, because you don't know anything about mortgages, you think that they know what they're doing, and therefore you give them all the information that is supposedly required. Well, let me give you a little insight here. You know what? If they ask you to send out documents 10 times, you send it out 10 times. But you need to ask them why. You need to ask them why they're asking for those documents. Okay, you need to ask why all the time, and they have to answer. And if they don't know the answer, you will be able to tell. And you will be able to ask them for a supervisor or a manager, and they will have to transfer you to one of them. And I know it's frustrating, but that's the way it is. If you want to personally handle your modification transaction with your servicer, then you gotta be smarter. You know how when we were kids and we used to play that staring game where whoever blinked first lost? That's the way it is with them. Whoever blinks loses. So don't blink. Don't give up. Continue to send the documents because that is your backup. If you ever have to go to court, you don't even need to get an attorney. If you can afford one, great. But if you cannot, there is a thing called Pro C, and that means that you represent yourself in court. And there is a lot of documentation right now in the internet that allows you to have access to all these documents that you can submit to court. If you want to do any appeals, if you want to ask to see the judges. Okay, all these documents are in the internet. You guys can go to foreclosurefraud.com. You can sign up to that website. You can also go to let's see, Foreclosure Hamlet. They have an awesome blog, and you will get the best of the updates. These are all people that, like yourself, are struggling to make the mortgage payments and have been trying to deal with their servicer on their own. And they also go to court, and they submit documentation. They write up all these court documents, okay, on their own. But they've learned a lot. They've been able to find ways to learn and to come up with the right solutions and the right wording, so when they go up to the judge listens to them. Because let me tell you, you pay taxes for that judge to be sitting in that courtroom. So when they are trying to intimidate you for you not to talk, you say, "Excuse me, Your Honor, may I have 5 minutes, please? Because I need to speak." And you speak out. And if you think that you might forget something, we'll grab a little pad, write yourself notes, okay, and read them out if you need to. But you speak out. You let them listen to you. You make them hear you. Okay, because these judges, they have no idea what is going to happen. Some of these judges have been retired under a rock.